I'm going to introduce my friend, Erik Allen. He is the founder and host of the #1 MMA podcast in the Northwest. He also has a podcast, The Bearded Business Show. It's geared towards entrepreneurs. He's done over, I think, nearly 300 shows. So I'm really excited about it. He's interviewed people like Mylett, Whalen, Tim Story, and many other interesting people. So the reason why I asked him to focus on this topic is because his wife, which is a really good friend of mine, one of my best friends, she was telling me about his morning routine and how his drive for success. I'm really impressed with that. So I asked Erik to share that information with us. So take it away, Erik.
Malia, thank you so much. Can everybody see me? I actually don't see myself on the camera, so I want to make sure that everybody can see me there. Awesome. Perfect. Well, first of all, Malia, thank you for this opportunity to come speak, and thank you for the very kind words. I want to give props to everybody in this room because you all passed your insurance tests. For me, I actually took the insurance test. I was an insurance agent in the state of Washington, and I failed every test at least 3 times. So I know exactly how much it costs to be an agent. Congrats on that. And once I did pass, it was funny because I did it for about a year and then I quit. Right. So props to you guys for staying in the business. I think it's awesome. A couple of things I'll cover today. Like, why is Malia bringing me on here? Like, what's my experience in sales? What do I do differently to contact people that I want on my shows, and how you guys can use that as, connecting to new referral partners? And then how do you make yourself stand out? How do I make myself stand out when I'm reaching out to guests? Because podcasts, there's like a million podcasts, right? And so people are always trying to get these top guys like Mylett and Bedros Keuilian and all those guys on their show. How was I able to do that? And so real quick, my name is Erik Allen. I'm the owner of Top Rated MA, the Bearded Biz Show, like Malia said. I'm also married to my most amazing, beautiful best friend. And then we have 2 awesome kids. I think the whole mindset starts by where did it start for me? And so I'll give you a quick backstory where, I grew up in Eastern Washington and went to Little League and went to Sunday school and had like that typical life. My dad would take my best friend Dave and go and throw us in dumpsters literally behind stores and go say, go find treasure, right? That's maybe normal. I don't know. But so my parents got divorced when I was 11 years old. And after that, I had to witness my mom get beat up for about 2 years from her boyfriend, and physically watched him. And then when I was 13, I actually had to fight him off. And it was at that point where my life really took a turn. I didn't have any direction in life. I was kicked out of my mom's house at that point, went back to Eastern Washington to live with my dad and basically raised myself since I was 14, but got into heavy drug addiction early on in high school and had no idea how to do money or any of that stuff. And so when I was 18, I got arrested for drug paraphernalia, and you would think I might've learned my lesson, but I didn't. And by the time I was 21 years old, I was $28,000 in debt and had to file bankruptcy. So between the ages of 18 and 21, I'd moved 21 times, living on couches of friends and friends of second cousins and stuff like that. So, I had this interesting life, but I had to get better. And so in 2004, I got sober and I quit everything. And I've been on this path or this journey to, be better at life and be a better husband and be a better father to my kids and stuff like that. But I always did sales. Throughout my entire career, I always did sales. I did car sales for 3 months out of high school. I'm horrible at that. Don't know anything about that. But, I was even like a hotel maid for one day. I got fired because I couldn't make the bed right. Right. So I just tried everything I could to do sales, to make money. And I was never good at selling. But the one thing that I was really, really good at was networking and business relationships and building those and connecting with people. And I love networking with people. I'm fascinated with people's stories. Like, why are you the way that you are? How did you get to where you're at today? I selfishly started my podcast because I just wanted to have these one-on-one conversations with MMA fighters. Like, those guys, I have so much respect for people who want to go into a cage and get punched in the face. Right. And same with entrepreneurs. And entrepreneurs, we kind of do the same thing. Like, as insurance agents or salespeople, we get punched in the face all the time too. Right. Like, we all get no's all the time, and we have to figure out, how do we continue to move forward? And so, when I started that show, like I said, selfishly, I started it because I wanted these one-on-one conversations. But then I realized the information that they're sharing with me, it needs to be shared to the world. And so that's what kind of sparked me to do this, podcast. Right. And so I was never good at doing the sales, but I have to have the right mindset for sales. and even right now, like for podcasts, I have to have the right mindset. Malia mentioned my morning routine. It's big for me, right? I have to stick to it. I've been waking up at 4 a.m. 6 days a week for about 10 years now. And yeah, that's crazy sometimes where I'm like, if I have a late night, then it's brutal waking up, but I still do it every time because it's kind of that non-negotiable for me. And you have to stick to it. But here's one thing that I would recommend is you can get 2 wins out of the day to start your day off right within about 10 seconds. We're never guaranteed tomorrow. So if we open our eyes, boom, that's a win. And then get out of bed and make your bed right there. Boom, win number 2, 10 seconds. You've already started your day with 2 wins. So that's what I would recommend doing. Like mindset wise, remember that if your eyes open up, man, you got to win. And that's an awesome way to start your day. Would love to know in the chats, like, what is your guys's, what is your morning routine? Like, do you get up and read, or, what are things that you guys do in your morning routine to kind of help you start off the day? You can drop it in the chat there. I'm going to keep going and I'll kind of touch base on, further items and around my morning routine, but would love to do that. Like walk the dog. Awesome. 4 a.m. club. Love it, dude. That's awesome. So, when I get upstairs to my office and I have to get the right mindset. I have to continue with that. Right. So for me personally, I like to listen to worship music. So I'll kick on some worship music and I'll just sit there in prayer and I'll just be grateful for what I've got, man. Thank you for my wife and my kids and that we're healthy. And thank you for this house and vehicles and my jobs and my podcast. Like really just unloading verbally out loud how grateful I am for the day. And that really helps me draw close just to, to God for me and just continue to move on, get prepared for the day. I read some Bible and then I kick on a podcast or I'll turn on a motivational speaker or I'll turn on the Clubhouse app. Any of you guys on Clubhouse, go ahead and drop a chat in there if you're on Clubhouse. It's an amazing app, but if it's only for Apple users. So if you're an Android user, sorry, you'll have to wait till it comes out there. But Clubhouse is an amazing tool to get connected with people that you could be doing referral partners with, other people you're in your industry. Highly recommend checking out the Clubhouse app. It's such a great app. And it works so good. Like if I get up and I do that, and then that really just fires me up for the day, especially if I'm listening to guys like Ed Mylett or Craig Ballantyne, Les Brown, Inky Johnson, Tony Robbins, Dr. Greg Reed, who wrote the book 3 Feet from Gold. I'm actually going to be talking to him tomorrow on my podcast, which is really, really cool. But a couple things that I would say for you guys is go out and get the book Maxout by Ed Mylett. It's actually free. If you just Google Ed Mylett Maxout book free, you might pay like $7 for shipping, but it's 95 pages long and it's an amazing book. It will change your life. And then also Craig Ballantyne's Perfect Day Formula book. He also wrote a follow-up called Perfect Week Formula. And Craig really talks about starting your morning routine the night before. So like at night before you go to bed, write down your goals and what you're going to do the next day. So then you're waking up and you already know what you've got to do. And he calls it the magic hour, where you just shut off your cell phone, you put it on airplane mode, and you go at least an hour for whatever you're supposed to do. And sometimes I do that and sometimes I don't, but that's that concept that Craig mentions in that is that magic hour for me is that 4 a.m. When I get in the office, man, it's time to shut everything down. That's where I'm editing my shows. I'm reaching out to guests. I'm responding to some emails. And then I also work full-time job. So at 8 a.m., I flip over to this computer. And so like I have just a limited time space in that morning that I get to, really focus on what I'm doing. In fact, when I wake up on Saturdays and Sundays that early, that's like my major production days because I can get 3-4 hours out of just working on myself and mental and mind space, mindset before my kids and my wife wake up. So the night before, write down your goals, be aware of your goals, like have clarity of exactly what you want to get out of the day, like own the day. And for me, like you have to take massive action. It doesn't have to be perfect action, but make sure you're always taking massive action towards those goals at all times. Always, always, always. And it's hard. Like some days you have like days where it's a bad day or, and you have to stay motivated and things like that. If you're like me, when I'm walking down through a doorway, my pinky toe will hit the edge of the wall and like, it'll go that way. And I'm trying to go this way, right? Really hurts. Am I having a bad day or am I having a bad 15 minutes, right? So you got to like be clear on that. Like it's not a bad day. It might be a bad 15 minutes why something happens, right? But you can change at any point throughout the day to make it a positive day. And so what I would say is choose, like, as you're going through those hard times, definitely choose to keep fighting through that. For me, my desire to be successful is bigger than my desire to sleep. So my desire to be successful is bigger than my desire to sleep. So I'm okay with getting 5.5, 6 hours of sleep at night because I know that I'm fighting for my dream. I'm fighting for that property that I want. I'm fighting for that space, that acreage, right? Where I can have my family out there. And I love neighbors, but if I'm too close, like if I can see my neighbors from my front porch, I'm too close, right? That's the goal for me. So I'm going to keep fighting for that until I hit that. And one of the things, that other mindset that I had to really hit on was I had to be a quitter. You're like, what? Yeah, I had to quit thinking that I didn't deserve success. I had to quit thinking that I didn't deserve money. I had to quit thinking that being lazy was okay. I had to quit being negative. I had to quit hanging around drama. And I had to quit being a quitter because I started so many businesses throughout my career and I started all these jobs and I'd quit. Like I had to quit being a quitter. But once I had that mentality that, man, I'm driving for my success. I've got that goal every single day. I'm fighting for it. There's no stopping me. My podcast, been blessed to be able to speak to some amazing people. My Bearded Biz show just peaked at 133 on the Apple iTunes podcast this month. And top rated May, it peaked number 9 in Albania. If you're living out there, thank you for those Albania folks that are listening to my show. But that's what I'm all about, is like, I want to make an impact. I have a daily goal to make one person smile every day. That's one goal. I don't care if it's virtually or if I see them at the store, but if they're wearing a name tag, if they're a clerk, a restaurant person, whatever, call them by their name. Like they have the name tag on for a reason. And I love to see people smile. So that's one goal, that like, if I can go out there and call somebody by their name and I see them smile, like they actually feel like they got recognized. And I'm like, man, that's a win. That's a win. So get those wins, like wake up and you have the eyes open, boom. Right. And so, to get better referral partners and to continue to get referral partners, you have to do something different. You have to stand out. You have to be outside of the box, like thinking, how do I do this, right? How do I get referral partners differently? Like throw it in the chat for me, but how do you guys do that today? Do you guys like email or you cold call? And I noticed some of the people were like, did some things like 3 or 4 reach outs this week, but throw them in the chat. I'd love to know, like, how do you guys get referral partners today? And, one of the things that I continue to do is like I said, I had to do something different to reach out to these guys like Ed Mylett. Well, I got blessed with Ed Mylett in 2018. He issued a Maxout challenge to his 1 million followers on Instagram. And you had to submit a 1-minute video via stories through Instagram. And you had to say what you're passionate about. What's your drive? What's your business? And so I submitted it. And he kept posting these things like, oh, these are the finalists. These are the finalists. And then about a month later, he announced Erik Allen as the Maxout Challenge. And I won that Maxout Challenge by Ed Mylett. I'm the only winner of the Maxout Challenge. And so blessed to be able to have a phone call with him very early on. I launched the Bearded Biz show in 2019. He's episode 12. I was able to record that and release that as a show. Prior to that, I had Whalen. And then what I started doing was it started opening doors. Pedro Adao, Brad Lee, Ryan Stewman, Jim the Rookie Morris, like Dr. Greg Reed. I'm speaking to the founder of Tap Out next week. Like, how did I get those big guys? It's not like I'm a big podcast name, right? I had to do something different. So let me show you exactly what I do. And this is what I would highly recommend doing for your referral partners too, is you have to do something different, remember? So I take up my cell phone and I literally will say, hey, Ed, what's going on? It's Erik Allen out here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I know that you have a house out here and you are a world changer, man. Your story impacted me so much. I want to help you get your word out. I know that you're an amazing person and I would love to connect with you and have you as a guest on my show. And then I send it to him. 30-second video. And I send it to him. Never go over 30 seconds. Never send a templated email. Never send a text, right? If you want a referral partner, do something different, right? They're going to remember that video, but they may not remember the same text email that they get from every other person trying to gain their business, right? So do those videos every single day and be personalized, right? Like whoever you want, stalk them on Instagram, stalk them on social media, right? Like, did they go golfing the other day and you're a golfer? Like, hey, find that common ground between you guys that you can mention that video. And again, don't go over 30 seconds, but they'll probably get back to you. I book 98% of my guests, maybe 99% of my guests through that method. And that's how I've been able to nail these big guys. The other thing that you want to do with these referral partners is continue to reach out. Like, don't just do it once. But for me, I reach out to my guests every 3 or 4 months. I'll send them another video and I don't ask for anything. I literally, like this week, I just sent a video to Bedros Quinn and I said, Bedros, what's going on? It's Erik Allen. Man, I hope you had a great Christmas. I hope you and your family had an awesome New Year's. And I'm just praying blessings over you and your business and everything this year. And if there's anything that I can do for you, just let me know. And I sent it to him. And you know what? He sent me a video back and he's like, Erik, what's going on, man? So good to hear from you. Dude, I'm so glad that you sent that video, man. We had an awesome 2020 and 2021. It's going to be awesome. And if there's anything that I can do for you, let me know. So I had to do something different, right? You had to check in every 3-4 months that I do with all my guests. And I would do the same for your referral partners. You know, kind of going back to that stalking method, right? Like find something that they do that you can relate with, right? So Bedros Keuilian, when I booked him on the show, I wanted to send him a thank you. And I was watching a video that him and Craig Ballantyne did on networking. And networking, you know, he was talking about Bedros Keuilian, he wears these Chuck Taylor high top shoes with black laces, very specific. And he said, that's the shoes that I wear. And he sent a pair to Andy Frisella, who's the CEO of First Form. And that's how he got connected with me. He's like, hey man, here's a pair of shoes. I wear these every day. So what I do is I emailed Bedros's assistant after he was on the show. And I said, hey, funny question, but can I get Bedros shoe size? She's like, sure. So then what I did was I went straight to Converse. I ordered a pair of his size 13 shoe or 14 shoe, or whatever it was, a massive shoe, high top, Chuck Taylor, black laces, and I had them sent to me. And so what I do, I get them and I autograph the inside of the tongue. And then I wrote a note and I said, Bedros, thank you so much for coming on my show, man. You are a world changer. I so appreciate you taking time out of your day. By the way, this is the only pair in the world of Chuck Taylor's autographed by me. And then I sent that to him. And then his team emailed me like, how did you know that he likes these shoes? Right? It's because I listened. It's because I was paying attention. So do the same for these referrals. Pay attention to what they're doing. Pay attention to what they're saying to you, because these referral partners, if you ask the right questions, will tell you exactly what they need. Don't just send like the mug or the Starbucks card or something like that, right? Send that personalized video. Be personalized with them. Do something outside of the box that will make you stand out. You know, so for mindset, right, you have to be consistent with it. You have to really stick to your plan. And if you sway, if you have a bad moment, not a bad day, but if you have a bad moment, wake up and realize, man, I need more. Like my success is bigger than this little tiny thing of stubbing my toe or something like that, right? You have to be different. You have to think outside of that box. Go above and beyond always, always, always. Be personal with them. Because I guarantee that if you're personal with them, the other people that are trying to get their business as referral partners, they're not doing that. So do that. Be as personable as you can and find that spot, that common ground that you can mention with them, right? So in order to be successful in life and in business, man, you have to be genuine. You have to be authentic, and you have to do what you say you're going to do. Always. Like if you say you're going to be at a meeting at 2:00, man, be there at 1:45. Never be late. And always, always, when you're like meeting somebody, plan for traffic. Like if you're late because of traffic, that's not the traffic's fault. That's yours. Right. So if you get there early, that's awesome. But always plan for that traffic or, you know, whatever, but never, ever be late. For me, I'm big on that. Like if MMA fighters, they tend to be on my podcast and they'll join my show a little bit late. I'm like, man, right. And I'll usually give them some grace period. I'll go up to about maybe 10 minutes but I got a busy day. And if they don't make it in that 10 minutes, it's like, I was giving you an opportunity. Don't lose that opportunity for these free partners or for these referral partners. Just be personable, be genuine, and be authentic. And I just want to say, if you guys have any questions for me, please reach out. I'm on Instagram at Erik G. Allen. And you guys are in amazing hands with Malia. This group, this workshop that she's doing is changing the world. Literally, like I get that there's not the world in this room, but what you guys are able to do with the stuff that she's presenting to you, go out there and change the world with it. My name is Erik Allen, and Erik Allen Media is my website. Thank you so much for the time, Malia.